Good morning. This is Catherine Hain from Shop Local Now Podcasts. I'm pleased to introduce Darby Mousseau, the creative director of the Fanshawe Student Union. She's also has a position of web optimization in a new digital media series that Fanshawe has launched. So we're really excited to have Darby with us today. Hi, Darby.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm pretty excited about this opportunity.
Thanks for joining us. Darby is one of the upcoming judges in our Digital Biz contest. We've narrowed down the contest to 8 candidates. You can go online to celebratelocal.ca and vote for one of the finalists. And Darby will have the difficult choice of choosing one of those 8 for a $2,500 digital makeover.
Yes.
Darby, can you tell us a little bit of your role, a little bit about yourself and your role and your experience, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I work for Fanshawe Student Union. We're affiliated with the college and we operate together to provide some kind of service in that to our students. So within my role as creative director here, I oversee the graphic design components of things, the visual, the brand, our website, basically the communication tools that we have to reach out to our students of events that's going on, services that we have like our health plan, our bus passes, and those kind of increments that we offer to students. I also, at my term here as creative director, I work with graphic design students that I hire, and they're in school right now full-time, trying to get their paperwork, their diplomas, and they work with me to get experience within the industry. So I oversee them. They design posters and marketing campaigns for events that we do operate and offer to students as well.
Wow, that's a busy job.
Yeah, it oversees a lot of things, but there's a lot of great resources that we have available to us, and we all kind of work together, and we all have one focus, right, is our students, and that's our demographic. So it kind of makes it a little bit easier when streaming communication tools that way.
Right, right. I'm sure you found the importance of you in your role has increased over the years as we move more towards a visual communication as opposed to just sort of words. Can you talk a little bit about that, about how you communicate to your audience in both visual and sort of regular communication, just words and articles, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You do. I have seen, because as a professional in the industry, you always want to keep up with things and keep going, and then you kind of pinpoint the needs in your own department and with your own companies, like to help everybody grow. And the digital world is definitely growing, and it's going to be ongoing and growing. So it's up to us to keep up to par, to be able to communicate effectively, and to encourage that engagement and continuous engagement as well. So within my department, I've noticed, like, yeah, we have posters, and the posters go up in the halls because, students are in the halls 24/7 walking through, and they see things and that, but they don't actually have the time to retain any of that information that they're seeing. So then what they do is then they go online to where they're comfortable, right? Because that's the demographic, that's the age that's going on. Everybody's on their tablets, their cell phones, their laptops.
Right.
They have those means of communication tools. So then they go on there searching and looking for us and finding things. So it's up to us to be there, to be available, to have these things. Right now I'm noticing a lot is video. Video is one of the big things that I see a big demand in, and we're getting a lot of engagement and followers based on that. So it's nice. It's nice to see that things are evolving and we're getting it. Like we're keeping up with it all.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to switch sort of the focus outside of the college and into sort of the local business environment, which would be many of the people who have entered a contest like the Digital Biz contest. What would be some things that you could sort of advise a local business to do in order to get that level of engagement? They're trying to reach the same demographic as well, and the challenges of sort of how their marketing has changed over the years has really been a difficult transition for some of them. What do you think? Or what kind of suggestions do you have for those businesses?
Yeah, well, it's definitely a grow, right? You got to grow your brand, and then you want to put that brand in your pocket, right? Like you want to grow that wallet, like as you go along, right? Because in today's crowded marketplace, it's definitely a need for this digital presence for any of our local individuals. Having a website search optimization is really helpful too, because then it goes in and being on social media, they can actually engage with and incorporate your marketing strategies. The data that you get from your websites and your social media outlets and your channels, like it's good to have the clear understanding on what you can gain when you review your data and reacting to the consistencies of that. You want to attract, you want to convert, you want to close, like you want to work with everybody as well, right?
Absolutely. And those are things that can be sometimes overwhelming for a smaller business.
Oh, yes, yes, most
What,
definitely.
what do you see them doing not so well in terms of when you look at the marketplace today and with your knowledge of where sort of how you drive that engagement, what would be sort of one thing that you would see businesses maybe not doing so well that they could improve on?
Um, it's the time for social media and web content. It's timing and money, right? And when you have these local businesses and companies and they're getting their feet on the door and they're only so much accessible, and they're using their resources to get where they can, they just need to figure out a way to use their proper resources so that they have the time. You know what I mean? And they're providing the critical tools, your high quality products, your services, your training, your mentoring, customer service, like all that has to go together. And along with that is it's outdated, counterproductive online marketing. So as everything's evolving, for whatever you have in place right now, it's always important to try and keep it up to date, to keep that engagement going and to recur new visitors, right? Like you really need to try to make that internet marketing your best practice just to get that rapid change going.
Absolutely. I mean, we always see digital as something that's a moving target, right? So what you
Yeah.
know today is maybe not what you're going to know tomorrow. And sometimes businesses sort of make a decision to do digital a year ago and then get back to doing business and forget to keep their digital strategy moving in the same direction, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's definitely something to touch up on, like have your digital marketing plan and have goals, and then like every quarterly or yearly or wherever how you want to operate your business, like your community locations, right? It's always a good idea to touch up on those things and have those things there and available, and so that you can make sure you're fresh and you are reaching your market that you want, your demographic.
Absolutely. Now, I'm just going to circle back to a good word that you used, and we hear it a lot, which is engagement. So can you talk about what you mean by engagement? You described sort of a student walking by and seeing a poster. That's the beginning of sort of the brand point touching the student to
Yeah,
go get it.
exactly. So what happens is, say in that persistence, right? And I mean, it's the same in all, like the same practices. It's just the way that you're going to lay out and evolve your content. So you have an event on campus, you got a poster, so there's the engagement there. Okay, and then they only see a couple things on that poster. Either is the visual that got the ride, the cost, the date, or the band, or the event, or whatever we're trying to share with them. They'll be like, oh yeah, this is interesting. So then they go onto their channels, right? So they'll go on their Facebook, their Twitter, their Instagram. You got your Snapchat now, and your YouTube channels. You go on there and you research to see if they can get more information. So there's more engagement. And then once they're on your site, you want to keep them there. You want to keep them engaged. You want less clicks, right? You don't want all these clicks, because more clicks, they get lost. They get bored. Oh, this isn't. I can't find what I'm looking for. I'm gone, kind of thing, right? So
Right,
you want
right.
to keep them engaged. Keep your information clear, available, right? So once you get in there, so like with our stuff, a lot of the time is, yes, we have everything driven to our social media, but within our social media, we also do contests. They're only used on our social media outlets so that those of people and students that are engaged, they stay engaged, and they're getting involved now, right? Because they're
Right.
providing. You want that personal, especially with your local shoppers, you want to get that personal. You want like that relationship to build, right? So with
Right, right.
online, that's how you're engaging. That is that you're providing this relationship, and you're going to try and continue to provide to it through your social channels.
So interesting, because maybe the website is the destination, but there was a lot of steps to get there, wasn't there?
Yeah, like your website's your hub for all information.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much for your time today. We really appreciate your insight, and we're really looking forward to having you as part of our judging panel for this Celebrate Local Digital Biz contest. If you're interested in seeing the finalists for the Celebrate Local Digital Biz contest, please go to celebratelocal.ca, and you'll be able to click on there and actually vote for this finalists and see this podcast and learn a little bit more about the judges.